Hello flight simmers, welcome back to the channel and welcome yet to another full flight video. Today we are at a rather special airport because it is a very newly released freeware scenery from ORBX. Of course it's super cool to have such a high quality developer such as ORBX releasing sceneries for free, and yeah, so I thought we go check it out. And the airport we are talking about is Skopje. Also one of these airports which I would never ever have considered flying to in the sim. And yeah, well, of course it's not a huge airport. A couple of gates here and that's already the terminal. We have some light popping in and out depending on the camera angle, but never mind. And yes, airport is called Alexander the Great airport. So, well, this is it. And yeah, really, considering it's a freeware, it looks rather stunning. And also now, since as I've loaded in to the scenery, I'm very much looking forward to the departure, because I did not know that there's that kind of high mountains around Skopje. So, well, let's see. It should be a pretty cool departure as well. And we will go over to Gothenburg. Very interesting what kind of routes are being operated from Skopje these days. Wizz Air seems to have a couple of aircraft stationed there, and they are doing some rather weird destinations in my opinion, and one of them being Gothenburg, which was actually operated on the 22nd of January. And well, I'm not sure what's the purpose of this flight. I believe it's really for passenger purpose. I am not aware that Wizz Air is now hugely involved in the cargo operations, so I believe that's really just for passengers. But I also believe it's probably not fully booked, so I've put around 80 or 90 packs in there today, so we will be rather light. Right, and yeah, well, that being said, let's look around for a little bit. Also some animated flags over there of Macedonia, if I'm not mistaken, and also some static aircraft back there, 3D grass, pretty nice ground textures, and well, yeah, very much looking forward to this flight. So I will meet you guys in the flight deck. So here we are again. Boarding is almost completed, refueling is completed, and I just quickly want to show you guys the dynamic lighting, which apparently is also included here. Very cool as well. But now we are finally ready to jump into the flight deck. So yeah, it's just the last bit of passengers coming on here. Quickly want to show you what we are up to in terms of departure. We will be flying the Gosti 2 Delta departure, and that's a very cool one, heading off runway 34 and then climbing to 4 miles from Skopje VOR, and then doing a huge right-hand turn and coming back over Skopje VOR, which is basically coming back over the airport and then heading off to Gosti. So that should be pretty fun. According to the takeoff calculations, we are on the flap 2 takeoff, and we will use the hotel intersection. The reason is then we don't have to backtrack on the runway and swing around, so we can simply enter on hotel, which is this one, and these are the dates. So that gives me a 500 meter shift in the runway length, but that's fine. We can handle that. And well, weather here is super nice. Here it is, so no winds at all, good visibility, broken at 7,000 feet, 8 degrees, very nice. But over at Gothenburg, low-hanging clouds, reduced visibility, and runway visual requirements will be a thing, and we know this back from Gothenburg in the A319 flight from Stockholm. And this time it will be nighttime, of course, since now it's early evening, 4 p.m. local time, and so it will be nighttime over in Gothenburg with low visibility. That will be quite fun, I assume. So, well, let's see how this will turn out. Now I quickly should get the APU fired on and also prepare all the stuff that's left inside the flight deck here. Right. Also, we are going to use checklists today. I haven't done so yet on the FSLabs A320, but now the Aviation Lads, don't know if you know this page, but Aviation Lads also A big part of the flight sim community, they have now published checklists and they seem pretty cool, so we are trying to use those. And we will start with the before start checklist. Cockpit preparations done, gear pins and covers are removed, signs are on, IRSs are on nav, fuel quantity, we have 8.4 tons on board. Takeoff data set, barrel is set to 1017. And yeah, I think we can already do below the line as well. Windows and doors are locked, beacons are on now, mobile phones are off, thrust levers are idle, and parking brake is set like that. Cool. So external power goes off, APU bleed goes on, and then we can ask for a pushback like that. Yeah, usually in the 737 I do use the checklists, not so much in the A320, since I feel like it's a bit more, like, how to say it, like intuitive, all the flows, but yeah, it should of course be used with checklists after all, so that's what we are doing today. Right, let's see, I think, I'm not sure what's happening here. There's somehow they're stuck in the catering truck and the cargo belts are still there. Maybe I will need to do a quick GSX reset. And there's some Wizz Air coming in. Pretty cool. Awesome. Yeah, let's take the time and watch this one. It's probably going to be a hard one. Ooh, he's gonna tail strike. What the heck? Okay, AI traffic at its best apparently, but never mind. Okay, let's see now. Try this again. Operate jetways. Undock. And once this is done, prepare for pushback. Okay, now the truck is coming in perfect. Yeah, let's see, initial climb clearance. I think there's nothing on the charts. So let's go, our transition level is 11,000, so let's go with this for now. Sorry, I just figured it out. Oh, that's wrong. I just had the door open once again. Happened to me last time as well. Sorry about that. Always keep forgetting. And now I have sort of two pushback procedures going on. I hope this will work out fine. Let's see. But we are on our way. That's good. Block time goes to on. And starting engine number 2. Okay, he did not exactly put us into a nice position here, but at least he didn't put us on the grass either. So, parking brakes.
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
And let's put a little bit of lighting in here. It's kind of dark now already. Yeah, there's the Wizz Air A321, which we saw landing early on. Okay, and that's number 2 fired up. Oops. Number 1, and then we can confirm good engine start. Alrighty, looking good. Yeah, so here we can also nicely see the takeoff route. So heading straight out and then doing this big right-hand turn and then almost coming back over the airport. Should be very fun, I assume.
Locking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Okay, I think we can continue on the after start checklist. Anti-ISOs are off. ECAM status is checked. Pitch trim should be down 0.8, so we need to trim down a bit. Down 0.8, there it is, and rudder trim is 0. After start checklist is completed. Okay, and then double checking up here. Is number 1 running? Yes, it is. Perfect. So this goes back to normal, then APU comes off, taxi lights come on, turnoffs come on, flaps 2, and then max auto brake and arm the speed brakes like that. Okay. Before takeoff checklist to the line, flight controls, full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, and the rudder, full left and full right, neutral, and then we can also switch around here. Flight instruments check, briefing is done, flap settings, config 2, FMA and takeoff data, yeah, we have done that. Transponder is set, and ECAM memo takeoff, no blue, no, we are not there yet. This point is still open. So let's release the parking brakes. We are on the powerful engines, so we get rolling right away. Right, I love this cloud cover up there. It looks super amazing, especially in this sort of twilight lighting right now. Okay, right-hand turn and then another left-hand turn, and then it's not too far to taxi after all. Right, then we can also put the weather system on and predictive wind shear. Also, let's do the transponder already to see if there's other aircrafts coming in. Okay, and now we can complete this final point. So before takeoff checks to the line completed. Cabin ready call.
Hello, it's Norman. Let's cabin secure for takeoff. Thank you.
Thanks, Norman. Perfect. All right, and before takeoff checklist below the line, cabin is secured, engine mode selector is normal, TCAS is TARA, and PECs are on as we are doing a PECs on takeoff. So before takeoff checklist completed. Right, and yes, then now we can depart straight from this runway entry, and you can see usually we could track down another 500 meters to the end of the runway and swing around. But since we are not too heavy today, I thought we can maybe save this bit of extra taxiing. Right, so all the lights, of course. Strobes come on. This goes to takeoff. Overhead panel is set. Alrighty. So let's do it. First time departure out of Skopje airport. Starting the timer. Throttle coming up. And man flex, SRSN runway, flex temperature 48 degrees. Flap 2 takeoff today. Quick look out the window. Yeah, that's 100 knots, speeding up quite nicely here. V1 rotate. And we are airborne. Gears coming up. And that is beautiful stuff, really. Okay, let's focus on the flying, since also for me the first time doing this departure. Okay, let's climb power. Yeah, of course we are quite easily gaining altitude now, since we are rather light. Those lights come off, turn-offs come off. And then it should be into the right-hand turn any second now. There it is. Okay, flaps 1. Okay, now for this turn we are limited to 240 knots, but that's quite a bit. So we can speed up further, and flaps up.
Accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated.
Wow, that's a pretty amazing takeoff.
We join you in the cabin shortly.
Awesome. Okay, let's disarm the crown spoilers. Wow, that is super, super cool. There's the airport down there. Okay, now we're closing in on the 240 knots. Cool, and after takeoff checklist, landing gears up, flaps are up, packs are on, and barrel reference will be set at 11,000 feet. Yeah, we even overshot this turn a little bit, but only by a tiny bit, so shouldn't be too bad. Cool, let's put the autopilot on. And soaring past the clouds, and now let's see. It's probably still coming up. I'm not sure if we can see it from the cockpit actually. We need some outside view for this, but down there it is. Now already heading into this right-hand turn. Very, very awesome. That's worth a screenshot, definitely. Okay, and closing in on 11,000. Let's go, what's the cruise level actually? 3.6, no, sorry. 3.8. 380. And also landing lights standard. Okay, after takeoff checklist completed. Alrighty, so that was a bit of a lengthy departure sequence now, but also very enjoyable. Hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. And then I will see you over in Gothenburg, and then we will likely have a rather challenging landing into Gothenburg. So see you in a bit. Alright guys, welcome back to the flight deck. We are descending into Gothenburg and, well, cruise has been rather steady. Nothing too spectacular, and weather down here at Gothenburg, well, it is alright. It's not great, it's not terrible either, so yeah, let's have a look together what the current METAR is like. So we have winds 22 knots from 210. That's good for the runway since we're heading in on runway 21 actually. So that's going to be straight on the nose, 22 knots, and 7 kilometers of visibility. That's around about 4 nautical miles. And then there's light rain, low hanging clouds, broken clouds at 500 feet, and then 3 degrees very low altimeters. And this is regarding the state of the runway, so that's runway 21, and then I believe this is like wet or damp, but good braking power, 95%. So yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not an expert on these kind of figures, but I think this is what it's telling us. So yeah, it's wet down there, but not too bad actually, and broken at 500, meaning there's still going to be 500 feet until we get through the clouds, meaning it should be fine for the landing. Yeah, and either way we can also do a Cat 3 arrival if needed, so we will simply then put on both autopilots, and yeah, if we don't get any visuals by sort of 50 feet at least, then we will do a fully automated landing. Right, once again forgot to put on the landing lights, but here we are. Righty, then also yeah, cockpit lights, I will dim them down a bit later on. Regarding the approach checklist, we can quickly run through this one. Briefing, yeah, we've just sort of talked about it. Maybe we can say a bit more. So we will intercept the glide slope at 3000, and in case of a go-around we will also climb back to 3000 straight ahead. Very straightforward really. And runway is sufficient in length, of course. We know the airport already from another flight, so that will be absolutely fine. Right, so yeah, we've done the briefing. ECAN status is checked, seatbelts are on, barrel reference is set already. Decision high, we've also discussed that. In fact, I did put 0 in here in case we do need to fly in ILS category 3. I'm not sure if you would just leave it blank or put 0. I decided to go with 0, not sure if it's 100% correct. And then engine mode selector is normal as required. And next up will be the landing checklist in a bit of time. So let's see, we are in fact already close to the airport, but we can't see it. It's somewhere hanging below these clouds over there. So let's see, zooming in a bit here. And let's monitor. We are doing good in terms of altitude, also currently slowing down a bit. As we can see here, we are limited to 230 knots for this waypoint. And I think we will get there in time, so that should be fine. Right, so That's most likely going to be a rather interesting landing. So we're excited about this. Second time for us coming to Gothenburg, and it's the second time that we are challenging or fighting some challenging weather conditions. And this time, however, a bit better than the last time. Last time we came here from Stockholm, we had some very heavy fog with barely any visibility. But visibility is of course a bit better today. I'm just wondering really why we don't see any precipitation on the weather radar. Should be there actually, but that might be due to active sky. Alright, now we are already heading towards the final approach. And well, let's see, I think we still have a couple of miles to go. Yeah, I hate it when I don't get the distance reading down here. Could never figure out what it's related to. Sometimes it's there, sometimes not. Really weird, but never mind. We are still around 12-13 miles out.
Hi, it's Norman. Yep, that's the cabin secure for landing.
Alrighty, cabin secured, that's perfect. And also let's go flap 1. And that's the localizer coming in. Wee, okay. That's quite interesting. I think it's supposed to be the landing lights illuminating the clouds straight ahead. It's awesome. I've never had this before. But I think it's an actual struggle the pilots have when it's bad weather and you have the landing lights on. It does illuminate everything up front. Alright, that's the localizer. Let's arm approach mode. And it's already getting a bit shaky actually. Second autopilot coming on. And flaps 2. We can arm the spoilers. Yeah, I think the glide slope interception is really late on this arrival. Okay, let's put those to taxi and those on as well. And then flaps 3 and gear down. And flaps full. We are on a very early config now. But then we have more time to get a stable approach. Alright, landing checklist. Cabin is secured. Auto throttle is still in. Go around altitude is 3000. That's set. ECAM memo, landing no blue. And right. Landing checklist completed. Yeah, regarding traffic, of course. I really do hope there's nothing going to be in our way. That would be rather annoying. And it's already quite shaky now. Not sure if we can see too much on the wings view, yeah, but yeah, we can sort of feel the aircraft moving around quite a lot now. I've actually quickly cleared off the aircraft about to depart, since I really don't want to run into any traffic right now. Okay, we can. I mean, we can already see the ground, so visibility down there is not too bad. Should be fine, really. But of course, if we don't get any visibility by 50 feet, then we will do the Cat 3 landing. Yeah, there's the runway coming up. So we already have a visual. That's good. Okay, so I think I can take the aircraft now. Right, and let's do it. Let's see if we can bring it down safely in these conditions.
1,000.
Now the focus, once again, is certainly not on a cruiser. It's rather on getting the aircraft down on the runway safely, but also firmly if needed.
Terrain. Terrain.
I think we can disregard that call since we're pretty much on the glide slope. I love these runway lights, this kind of yellow color, or orange. Looks pretty fancy. Yeah, but the wind being straight on the nose does help a lot. So we don't need any grabbing, and also we are going, of course, slower
400.
in terms of ground speed. It's quite convenient.
300. 200.
We're a touch high, but that's okay.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. Retard. 5.
Descending, and there we are. Reverse. And idle forward, manual braking. Alrighty guys, welcome down to Gothenburg. Second time we are rather having an interesting landing here, but worked out all well. Flight time 2:41. And right, let's see, there's exit Delta coming up. It was a bit of a heartbreaking actually, but I didn't really see where the next exit was, so I thought it's safer. Oh, it's actually here. Now I'm about to miss it. Right, it's a bit of a cleanup. Flaps are coming up. Auto brake goes off. Right, that's gonna be Yankee, where we'll have a left-hand turn. In the meantime, this goes back to standby. Now those can come off as well. It's really hard to see the taxi line here with these snow colors. Yeah, pretty bad weather here. Okay, landing lights. Taxi lights are on, strobes come off. Let's fire up the APU. And then in terms of parking, actually I don't really mind. Let's just get any gate which is available. Gate 9, okay. Alright, and I think we can also soon shut down one engine already. Give them a bit more time for a cool down, but then we certainly don't need both of them for taxiing. Let's see, that's Juliet. Hotel, let's go all the way down to Golf. And yeah, let's kill engine number 2. That's hotel, and then we will take the next right-hand turn onto Golf. And then the gate will actually be pretty much straight ahead. Shouldn't be going that fast in these conditions. Okay, so right-hand turn, and the gate should actually be straight ahead. Yes, there's GSX waiting for us. Okay, it's actually not the gates. We will have stairs. And jetways are over there. Okay, but let's go ahead and put off those taxi lights. APU is available. That's perfect. And since there's no marshaller here, I will take the outside view to get a good parking. Yeah, this sort of barking you are hearing there, that's the hydraulic pump. I think it always happens when we have one engine turned off. Alrighty, so park and brake. Killing number 1. Block time 2:53, alrighty, and then beacons, seat belts, looking very good. Stairs are coming in, perfect. No, I don't need that. Okay. So, let's see if the wheel chocks are already in place. Okay, there's the wheel chocks, so park and brake goes off. And then external power is available, this goes on, APU comes off. And the parking checklist, APU bleed is off. Electric pump, well, it reads a yellow electric pump. I do believe they are referring to the generators, if I'm not mistaken, but not too sure on that, or maybe this one actually. Okay, engines are off, seat belts are off, external lights are as required, fuel pumps are off now or soon. And parking brakes and chocks are done. Mobile phones on. Okay, mobile phones. I don't think they really need that on the checklist. Transponder is standby, and radar and predictive wind shear is off. Cool. Alright, and here we are at very ghastly weather conditions in Gothenburg. Hope you guys have enjoyed this flight, and yeah, especially the departure out of this new freeware scenery. Certainly not the last time we've used this airport, or hopefully at least. And well, thank you very much for joining me on this flight. As always, feel free to leave a comment below if you like me to do any particular flights or focus on some other stuff within the flight sim world. Other than that, please take care of yourselves and hopefully see you next time. Bye bye.